Hello and welcome to my brand new podcast, Not Your Average Housewife. I am your host, Mel, and today I have a very, very special guest with me. This is somebody who has very fast become from friend to the brother that I never had, the brother I never knew I needed. He's been DJing for over 20 years, and I'm sure you're just as excited as I am to hear all about his journey. It is Mr. Ben White.
Hello.
Thank you, Ben, for coming and joining me today.
Well done.
Yes, I know. Who better to have on than my wonderful business partner?
Exactly. Business partner and brother.
Exactly. Business partner / brother.
Yeah,
Don't get
it's good to be here. Bit
better
nervous.
combo than that.
Bit nervous.
What are you nervous about?
Because I don't do stuff like this. So this is all like really new.
But you can DJ to a
I'm
room
not,
of
but
hundreds
I'm not
of
sat
people.
there talking like this, and then this is going to go out to people, and everyone's just going to be watching me.
Oh well, I'm sure.
I know they watch
really
why you
excited.
DJing, but they're more about the music, aren't they? They don't really care what I look like.
I don't know. I get more nervous to DJ
I used
than
to.
I do to do this.
I used to, but I'm sure we'll talk about that. But
Yeah, of course we will.
This is all new to me, so.
So am I right in saying you've been DJing for over 20 years?
Yeah, not like in professionally, but yeah, I've had decks for like 20 years.
And what made you take us right back to the very beginning? So where did it all start for you? Where did this journey with music and wanting to DJ stem from?
Music, well, DJing, music's always been part of my life. Mm-hmm. My dad was a radio DJ, but he was like really into heavy metal and rock and stuff like that. He used to drag me out to Iron Maiden concerts when I was like 5-6 years old, which used to frighten the life out of me. But that's what kind of started off the sort of musical stuff, because I used to go to the radio station with him when there was no one on air, and I used to just mess around with the buttons and stuff. And my older brother Sam, he started DJing as a teenager. He's a few years older than me. But that's when all the rave stuff was really kicking off. So all the old jungle and...
So was this sort of like in the 90s?
Yeah, so it would have been like the early 90s, sort of early to mid 90s. And I used to just watch him mixing and stuff. Obviously I was too young to ever get involved in anything. But I just really got into that sort of music. So I started when I was probably about 11 or 12. I started buying the old tape packs for like Dreamscape and Fantasia and stuff like that. And I just used to listen to it all the time. And I just always used to wish I could be there. And then I just started like having a play around on his decks when he wasn't at home.
And were these, if we're going back to sort of the 90s, were these decks like...
These are proper decks.
Like proper decks,
vinyl,
like proper decks, like vinyl decks,
Yeah.
So that's what you initially
so that's initially what I learned on. So I think it was probably about... When I was probably about 15, a friend of mine bought a pair, and I used to go in his house all the time. And that's when I started doing it properly, because I could literally use them whenever I wanted. But we was all really into trance then. It was just mixing trance all the time and a bit of garage. But that's when I started learning properly. And then eventually I got my own set. And then, that was it. It was just always on it.
So with your own set again, was that record
vinyl?
decks?
Yeah, it's vinyl. I think they did have like CDs starting to come out then.
Yeah.
But I just...
CDs. Do you remember CDs?
Yeah, but the ones you used to see, the CD ones, had these, they were like great big units. They're not like what you see now. Great big units, and had these two little like round jog wheels.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have had a clue how to use them. Literally wouldn't have had a clue. So I didn't even want to learn to use them. I just stuck with vinyl. Because that's all I knew.
Yeah. And what sort of genre and style of music did you start off?
So when I started off, it was mainly trance. Because at the time, that was really big at the time. They had all the gate crashes and that sort of stuff.
Oh, love it. Still love it now.
Good. I still love it now, yeah. But no one really does it so much. And well, not around here. It's still big, but not in Milton Keynes. But yeah, trance, garage I was really into, as you know. I still love garage. And a bit of drum and bass as well.
Yeah.
I've never really been one to sort of stick to one genre. Like I've always been, like I say, even I think my Instagram even says multi-genre DJ.
Yeah.
I like what I like. I don't like to like pigeonhole it. So yeah, that's where it all started from really.
And then I'm guessing you were sort of coming up to the age then when you were legally allowed to start going out and start going to raves. So is that when you started going out and obviously seeing these DJs and how crowds react, and did that sort of kick something in you and make you think, do you know what, I'm doing this at home, I actually want to get out there and do it now? Yeah,
kind of. For me, it was, I mean, I started probably going out into the clubs in Milton Keynes and stuff when I was about 16. Obviously I weren't allowed to, but we used to. And I met a few people that were DJs as well.
Yeah.
And some of them were playing out and about, and I used to love it. I used to think, yeah, I wish I could do that. But I lacked confidence massively.
Mm-hmm. And why? Do you know why?
I've just always been quite a shy, quiet person anyway. But I don't know. It's like I was just saying to you a minute ago, like, this is new for me. People like just sat here like this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like the eyes on me, even to a certain point now when I'm DJing. It doesn't bother me now, but I still, sometimes you think like, oh, are they watching me?
Yeah.
Or are they just listening to the music?
Bit both.
Yeah, so I've still got that sort of confidence. So I don't know why. I've just always been like it. But yeah, I used to get to the point where I'd play in my mate's bedroom and we'd mix back to back and stuff, no problem at all. A couple more people might come around the house and I'd be shaking and I couldn't even put the records on.
Really?
Yeah, I'd just be so nervous all the time.
And what would them nerves be for? What, messing it up?
Yeah, just we don't want to mess it up.
Not wanting people looking at you? Or?
Both, yeah, like people are looking at you to see what you're doing and... You know, you don't want to mess the mix up because, especially when you're younger, everyone's like, oh, that was rubbish. And, oh, you're well bad. And, I just didn't want to be like that. I just wanted to be really good at it.
Yeah.
And I never felt like I was.
Oh, so well, you are. I think you are. You are now.
I think I'm all right. But, it took me years and years before I started to play to a bit of a bigger audience. And even then, I remember doing a party with my brother once and, I came along to have a mix and I probably mixed about 2 tunes. And then there was this one tune and like, you haven't mixed on vinyl, have you?
No.
Right, so on this one record, the needle started jumping.
Yeah.
And I panicked because it was jumping, it made the mix go out time. And I literally took headphones off, passed them to brother, said, I can't do it. And he had to finish off. Like, and I used to get in them sort of states. And obviously when you're playing out to people, you can't do that.
Like a state of panic.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, luckily you don't get it now because it's all digital.
You've got a good old sync button now. Doesn't happen.
Yeah, that as well. But your music doesn't skip. Like before like the needle would jump or, someone bang into the desk and, it goes, it's just a nightmare. But
I've seen I don't know if I'm completely making this up, but I'm sure I've seen it where I've seen reels and things on Instagram of people mixing with vinyl, but they're using like a penny or something as a weight.
Yeah,
is that something that people used to do?
They used to put it onto the top of the head shell that holds the needle. And to be honest, I'm not 100% sure the reason behind it, but I think it was just to
maybe it was just a trend.
I think it was just to like keep it steady.
Steady, yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not 100% sure on it. But yeah, people did used to do that. But because the problem with the vinyl was in the old days, like I remember we had these speakers once that were so bassy, like we had to move them so far away because it was just making a needle jump up.
Yeah.
Again. So, but like I said, you don't get that now.
No. Technology's come a long way.
But yeah, but even now, I think if you was to put vinyls on at one of our events now and it started jumping, it wouldn't bother me now. I'd just move it. But back then, that was it. That's ruined your whole night now.
Really?
And that's all anyone would think about. That's how I looked at it. So I just found it so difficult to play in front of anyone. Yeah, it just took forever.
So what was the sort of turning point for you where you felt confident to play? Because I know for a while you've played to large audiences of people now. What was the sort of turning point for you? Did you just get to a point where you thought, I'm actually really good now? Or like, what was the turning point?
Been really good.
I know.
I don't know, to be honest.
Not what was the turning point, when? Sorry, is the question I'm looking for.
When, probably about 10 years ago. So, quite far into it, really.
Yeah.
But bear in mind, I've never really played out that much because I've never, again, I don't know if it's the confidence thing, but I've always looked at it. It's just something I do for fun.
Yeah.
It's never something I've like pursued as a career or to be as famous DJ or that everyone knows, because I've never really liked this industry. I've just found it really cliquey.
Oh, okay.
But we'll talk about that more.
Yeah.
But it's probably about 10 years ago, because I kind of stopped mixing for quite a while, and then I kind of got back into it. And I don't know what it was. I think it was probably Rachel, to be honest. Just her being there when I was mixing for some reason. Like, it just didn't bother me.
Yeah.
Who else was there? I just used to have fun with it.
Yeah.
And
so
I think,
what do you mean, sort of to give you more confidence?
Yeah, I think just her being there was just made me feel more confident.
Oh.
So it sounds soppy, doesn't it? But,
well done, right?
But yeah, that's all it was really. And then it was just, it didn't matter. Whereas before, I used to concentrate so much on what if I mess up?
Yeah.
What if I do a bad mix? Everyone's going to laugh at me. No one's going to want me to play again. And then it got to a point of, well, it doesn't matter. If I mess up, I mess up.
Yeah.
Just have fun.
Have fun.
Just, that's all I do it for. I do it because I like the music and I like to have fun.
And I feel like as the club and rave scene has progressed, it has become a lot more showy, and it has become a lot more not so much just about the music.
No, it's a performance now.
Yeah.
When you look at James Hype, like, brilliant, does brilliant mixes, but he doesn't even put headphones on.
Yeah.
Every video I've seen anyway, he's never got a pair of headphones on. It's all synced up, which, is great for the sort of stuff he's doing, but it's just a performance. It's not, it is about the music. It's probably wrong to say that because he's making sort of good mashups of the music, but it's still,
I know what you mean. People go to an event now and look more for
what the DJ's
a performance
doing.
rather than actually listening and thinking.
Yeah, and they're looking at, look at this.
Sort of getting lost in it and letting it take you somewhere else, which is probably what it used to be a lot more about.
Well, I think back in the day as well, you didn't even see the DJs a lot of the time. There's some clubs where they was in like a booth and you don't even see them. So, you wouldn't even know who was DJing unless someone's announced it first. No phones, no nothing like that. It was just more about being off your head and enjoying the music.
Yeah. But, and being with people that you love. And
exactly.
Just enjoying the night.
But it has become a big performance now. For some people, not everyone. But it's, times changed, didn't they?
Yeah.
So
if you could go back, if you could change one thing now about the whole clubbing event scene to make it more so how it was before, what would you change?
What's how it was when I started going out, or as a DJ?
Yeah. Like we were just talking about how different things are now to how they used to be. Like before, it used to be much more about the music and the people you went with and just enjoying the moment and the night. And now it's all very much performance. If you could change something now, what would you change about it?
Well, I think social media has probably got a lot to answer for. I'm on it all the time, constantly. But that with your phones, everyone's I do it as well, I must admit. I'm sitting here slagging it off, but I'm just as bad. But now you're in a club, and I've noticed it, especially with the younger lot, they would just stand there filming their friends DJing. They're just standing still,
aren't they?
Yeah, it's literally,
why are you not dancing?
There'd be 10 people in front of the DJ like that.
Yeah.
And no one's actually, you're thinking, well, are you actually listening to the music?
Yeah, do you even like it?
Or are you just filming your friend so that you can get views
get a good
on
Instagram reel.
Yeah. So, I think social media, phones, because now it's more about everyone getting views and putting their videos out of what they're doing and everything else, I think that's probably killed it a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'd change that, I think. If I could go back, I would make it, get rid of social media, get rid of... I know someone did an event recently, Rob from Resonate.
Yep. Did he ban phones from it?
Yeah, so he said no phones on dance floor.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, and he
well
did,
done, Rob.
To be honest, he put like a questionnaire out as well, saying, what's your thoughts on this?
Yeah,
and like my heart was saying, get rid of phones, but then at the same time, I did answer on it saying, but people do like to create some memories and stuff like that.
They should just have a designated photographer that takes videos and photos of the night and then just upload them to the page and everyone gets to see them.
Yeah, well, that's what he said at the end of the day. So, which I think is actually a really good thing to do.
Yeah.
And then when I saw it on the night, because I did go, there was no one with their phones out.
Yeah.
And I was there taking pictures on my proper camera.
Yeah.
And it was good because they were just dancing.
Was it good to see everybody?
Yeah, they were just dancing.
Yeah.
And there was no one standing there just filming. So, yeah, it was actually good. So I think that's what I change about it, to be honest, to bring back the lack of mobile phones.
And to be honest, I think that would probably be the majority of people's answers. There's quite a lot of big headline, well-known DJs now that are putting on events and they're banning phones.
Yeah.
They're saying you're not allowed to take your phone out your bag. Like you can take it out to make a phone call outside or in the toilet, but you're not to take it out.
Yeah.
But don't you think, like back in the day, some of the best brands and best events and nights were probably from back in the day, a long time ago, when there was no social media. Like how did they advertise them fine then?
Yeah, so why can't you do it now?
Exactly.
But
I think we've got so used to, so accustomed to having things done for us, which initially what it is. Like you'd be out flying on foot otherwise, which we actually have done. We've done that.
We have done that actually. We have done that and we stuck signs up everywhere.
Yeah.
So, I hope everyone saw them. Don't think they did. But yeah, I mean, I'm the biggest person to slag off social media.
But we're on it all the time.
I'm literally on it all the time. I mean, especially like our Purple Disco page.
Yeah.
I'm always on it. Because that's just a dumb thing now, isn't it?
Yeah, so, it's just the dumb way of communication.
Yeah, but I think, I just feel like with the performance side of the DJs, like would they do that if you didn't have social media and mobile phones?
Yeah, probably
because
not.
No one's going to see it.
Exactly, who's going to see it?
But they're doing it.
It's more visual now rather than auditory like it probably was before.
Are they doing it just because they know it's going to go all over the socials?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to say, oh, you've seen that DJ that does this and that.
Yeah.
And it bigs them up, doesn't it? Builds them up.
Maybe we need to get some new techniques.
Yeah, we'll have to start learning to dance behind the decks.
I actually am, remember? Still doing my dance classes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I haven't showcased them yet. Yeah.
Are you actually doing it?
I am. I'm actually doing it from home.
Oh, you need to start getting on it then.
I know. I need to. I'm going to showcase it. I'm going to just bust out in June. Nobody will know I've been doing it.
You need to join the our dancers.
Yeah.
Yeah, Life is for Living at Dance.
Yes, shout out to Life is for Living Dance. That's right. So I want to talk a bit about how you and I met now, because obviously we run the Purple Disco events in Milton Keynes.
You do.
Lots of people I'm sure know about them, and I don't think too many people know how it come about. Like this wasn't just. We didn't just randomly meet and be like, should we just start doing events?
No.
Like it was a lot more deep than that. And there's a lot more to it that I think.
No, so do you want me to?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
so it was last June. No, it wasn't. Last June was the first event, but it was the August the year before.
Was it that far back?
Yeah, it was that far back because I went back on my messages and saw it. It was August 2023.
Yeah, so for me, it kind of stemmed from, again, because I never really play out a lot. So I never really promoted it, but I did like doing stuff, especially sort of charity-wise. And I used to do a charity event quite regularly with a lady called Kelly Gavahan. Shout out to Kelly. He used to run H-Bomb. And that was all around domestic violence and that kind of stuff. And she set up the event and we used to go and DJ and stuff. And it was really good. I enjoyed it and it was a lot of fun. And I saw your story in a newspaper about, stuff that you'd been through and, similar kind of things. And I thought, you know what, I wonder if she'd want to do an event. I said, because, I've done this before. We can put on a night, dance night, music night, club, and raise some money for, because I think you was doing that like empowering.
Yeah, so at that time I was running like empowerment days for female DV survivors, where I had 4 or 5 ladies like speakers who would come, and they were all from completely different walks of life. They were all doing completely different things now. So I had like one lady that was like a doctor, to give you an example, one lady that was like a holistic therapist, one lady that was a stay-at-home mum, all completely different women, but all one thing in common. So they were all DV survivors. Yeah. So they'd come and tell their story about not too much of a what's the word I'm looking for? Like not too much of a trauma dump. It was more so, yes, we've all been through this, but look what I'm doing now. Like your life doesn't end there. Life continues. This is what you can achieve, X, Y, Z. So I'd have people come and give their talks to a room full of DV survivors who were at a bit of a loss and didn't really know where to go. And then the Citizen newspaper published the story of what I was doing.
Yeah, and that's what I saw in the Citizen. So I think I looked you up on Facebook and sent you a message and you said, look, I used to do these charity nights for DV survivors. Do you want to do something? And you was like, yes.
Yeah.
Let's do
that was
something.
right up my street.
Yeah. So
I was like, why didn't I think of this?
Yeah, we got chatting about it. I think we was going to start looking at some venues and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I think at the time, obviously, you didn't DJ at the time. So I think it was kind of like you was going to sort of set up do the charity side of it. I was going to provide the DJs.
Yeah, that's the agreement that we come to, because we did it at the pavilion, didn't we? And I remember because I was going to do something at the pavilion and everything for a reason. I believe it fell through so that this could organically be born. So I'd actually arranged for a charity firewalk to take place at the pavilion to raise money for female DV survivors, for them and their children to attend a programme through a friend of mine to access therapy and rebuild their lives. And the firewalk fell through. So about 2 months before it was due to happen.
You did do a firewalk though, didn't you?
I did do a firewalk. Yes, I did a firewalk 4 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago. Yeah, it was brilliant.
I'd probably fall over.
I nearly did.
I'd be rolling around.
It did. It's really, really weird. It's hot. Like you're very aware that you're walking on hot coals, but you don't get blisters. Or I think the science behind it is you walk at such a pace, because you have to go through about 2 hour training before you do it. But you walk so fast because you're constantly moving. The heat doesn't penetrate the skin. I might have just completely made that up. That might not be correct, but I'm sure that's what it is.
You do normally talk a lot of crap.
I do, but I'm sure that's like the science behind it, how it works. But it does work because I've done it. I have done it. I had no blisters. But yeah, so I was going to put on a firewalk. Then the guy who did it for us before, his insurance had lapsed in COVID, and he wasn't aware that it had lapsed or something along those lines. And it was really, really expensive, as you can imagine, to have insurance for 20, 30 people to walk on hot coals. The insurance isn't cheap. So we weren't able to do it. So I remember saying to you, do you know what? I was going to do something at this venue. Let me approach them and see if they'll let me do that. And I really didn't think they were going to let us do it.
And they did.
I know, they did. I went to him and I was like, look, the firewalk can't go ahead. We've got no insurance, but I've got another idea. Let me put it forward to you. And I was thinking he's going to say no, because it's like a little sort of family-run pavilion in a very, very well-to-do area of Milton Keynes. And I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to go out and tell him. I was like, we put on a club night instead. Loads of DJs. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. And it was great. But it was only actually supposed to be a one-off event, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think I had in the back of my head that we'd end up doing it more, to be honest.
So in my head, I was like, it was just a one-off.
But it wasn't like a planned, we'll do this one and we'll keep doing them.
Yeah.
I think for me, it was like, we'll see how it goes. If it goes decent. Well, I think we then spoke about doing one another like every 6 months or something.
Yeah, because it was just the feedback that we got from the event. Like people were saying, and I just remember just sort of standing there in awe when it was taking place. Like, this is amazing. Like there's certainly a bit of a gap in the market for things like this to be happening. Like people clearly loved it. It was packed. And I remember people saying to me, like at the end of the night and over the next couple of days, like, when's the next one? When's the next one?
Yeah,
and I was like, no, it's just one.
Why we did it so quickly, wasn't it? Because we ended up doing it like a month or two later.
Yeah, because this was in June and we were like, do you know, maybe we'll put one on in December around Christmas time. And people were like, no. Yeah. We need another one before then.
So it ended up being September, didn't it?
Yeah, we've ended up just doing one every other month since. And it's just sort of grown.
It's been a lot of work, to be fair.
It has. Good. And I don't think people actually realise, do they, how much work goes into putting events on.
And we've been lucky as well, because we've had a lot of people helping out.
Yeah,
like,
of
for
course.
instance, the pavilion, the crosswires and whatever, our sound system ended up falling through. And then we had Ian.
Who came through for us.
Shout out to Ian, who's now gives us his equipment
our sound
every
angel.
time. sets it all up, stays the night, controls it all. And that's a lot of work because I go with him and help him set it up and I pack it down. It's a lot of work and effort, then he's got to pack it into his car, pack it back into his garage.
Yeah.
And he does it all for free, which is brilliant. So, got a lot of respect for Ian. So thank you, Ian.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, Ian.
Big help. And thank you to everyone that's been involved in it, whether you've just been attending or a DJ, obviously our residents, Anne and Blaine, everyone else that's DJ'd for us. It's good. It's going good.
It is. But just the response from doing, I just wasn't expecting it.
No.
Do you know what I mean? And the response we've had from people that, like you was just saying, want to come and help out as well. It just, in a world where you hear so much bad, where you hear of so many horrible things going on and so many nasty people doing so many horrible things, and then you get sort of thrown into this other world when all of a sudden all these people are coming out to help you from nowhere, and it's just really nice.
I think that's because there's a lot of people thinking, like you've just said, we live in such a bad world and no one does. And because we've promoted it as it's a charity night and we don't profit from it.
No.
So whatever we get from it, we just donate to chosen charity. I think people are seeing that thinking, well, that's different. They're not.
Yeah.
I know lots of people do stuff for charities, but we literally don't profit from it.
No, and we pick a different charity every time,
exactly.
don't we?
We do
a different local charity or cause.
So I think people are seeing that thinking, well, that's a good thing they're doing. Like a little bit more than just like, okay, here's 50 quid for a charity sort of thing. We're just giving it all to them. And that's why people are quite up for donating their time or equipment and stuff for free.
And it's great. We need more.
Yeah,
we need more people like this.
We've got a bit bigger, expenses have got a bit wider, and we have to, sort of
accommodate for that as well. Yeah,
but we're still donating good amounts, which it's nice. It's good. It's good to give back.
Yeah.
So
So what made you? Because I know you had a bit of a break. You were saying in where you sort of left the industry for a bit and then came back. What made you want to sort of get back into it again?
So I stopped kind of DJing. I didn't stop DJing. I was always kind of mixed at home, but I stopped kind of trying to pursue it because I've just found the industry really, really cliquey. It's like used to go out and it used to be the same 4 or 5 DJs on the same night in every club.
Yeah,
it was always the same people, and you used to go down there. You used to like introduce yourself. Attend all their events. You wouldn't just try and blag a spot. You'd actually take part in what's going on and get involved. And they just didn't want to know, unless you were one of them 4 or 5 names. And I've had people that are well known in the industry like tell people, book Ben, do this, do that, and they just ignore it. I don't know. I just don't know why. So I've just found it really cliquey.
Yeah.
And if you're not in that group, you've got to like kiss so much ass that unless you do that, and you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah.
And I just don't. I'm not up for that. It's not, like I said. For me, it's fun. It's about having fun.
Yeah.
I just want to go and have a mix and play some tunes and watch some people dance.
Yeah.
And if they enjoy what I'm doing, it's great. I'm not bothered about getting paid. I'm not bothered about traveling the world. I mean, it'd be nice, but it just don't bother me. So I'm not into all that, kissing ass and all that clickiness. So I kind of just never really bothered promoting myself for it.
Yeah.
So every now and then something would come up and I would do it, and I'd end up playing with all these same DJs that won't let me on their events. So I wouldn't say, I'm not saying like I'm betting anyone, but I wouldn't say I was any worse than any of them either. So there was no reason why I shouldn't get booked.
Yeah.
So it kind of just put me off it a bit, and I just kind of kept it as a bedroom at home thing.
Yeah.
But then it was probably about 2009. Some stuff happened like personally. I ended up actually taking custody of my kids, and like everything changed for me. I didn't have a job. I had to get a house for me and them.
Yeah.
And I ended up having a lot more time on my hands because I was at home looking after them a lot more. And I kind of really got back into mixing.
Yeah.
Also started producing a little bit as well. Never released anything, but just used to play around with it. And that kind of lit the spark again.
Yeah.
And I kind of thought, I've got a bit more time now. Why don't I, try and do something?
And do you find, because I certainly find this, it might not be the case for you, but I feel like this is sort of the case for everybody. Like, I am at home on my own with the children. I have children with additional needs. One of them doesn't go to school. The other one doesn't sleep. And I started my own DJ journey last June, I think it was. It was just randomly out of the blue. I think after our first event, I thought, you know what? I want a little bit more involvement than this. I'm nearly 40. I'm going to learn myself to DJ. Was it a midlife crisis? Probably.
Yeah.
But it's the best decision I ever made because it's something that I needed so much that I didn't know I needed. And even now, if I've had a really, really stressful day, if I just go and have a little mix, like obviously I can't turn my speakers on at home because I wake the baby up, but doing that, it's like freedom for me. Like I'll just close my eyes. I'll feel like I'm not even at home anymore. Any chaos that's going on, it just seems to make me forget everything. And I sometimes say to myself, I kick myself and I'm like, why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I do this earlier in my life? But I feel like everything happens at the exact right time that it is supposed to happen. And this just wasn't supposed to happen for me until now. But I'm so grateful that it did. So did you find, obviously becoming a single parent yourself, it's challenging, it's tough.
Yeah, of course.
And did that sort of help you? I guess what I'm saying is, did you sort of see that as, like, for me, it's like free therapy, and it really, really helps
I guess.
me.
I mean, I kind of thought, well, my life for the better, obviously, because it was my kids coming to live with me.
Yeah.
But my life had now completely changed. I mean, previous to that, obviously, I was just a single man. I was going out all the time. I mean, I was probably doing stuff I shouldn't be doing, to be honest. I was drinking a lot and whatever. So it kind of really sorted my life out, to be honest.
Yeah.
But then I just found I had so much time on my hands. Like, they'd go to school and I'd be sat there, tidying up the house like a good old housewife.
Yeah. The housewife.
And I'd have nothing to do. It was like, well, let's have a mix.
Yeah.
And I'd play some old tunes and stuff, but I've got to remember.
And it
this.
just changes your mood, doesn't it?
You just start getting into it again, and I start, and you start listening to searching for new music, and
before you know, it's time to pick the kids up.
Yeah,
like,
and that's it. Your day's gone. It's like, and you realise actually how much you love it,
yeah,
and how much you love the music, and what you just forget about everything else. And like you said, all of a sudden it's time to go and get the kids, or oh shit, I haven't done dinner. And it just like takes the day away.
It does, but in a good way. You're doing something for yourself. You're doing a hobby.
That's what I was going to say as well.
And that's something I've found quite easy to do for myself, because it's something I do at home. Obviously, my children are not of an age where I can go out and leave them. The youngest is only 4. So I'm very limited to what I can do at home just for me. I joined a gym. I don't get to go. I don't get to go and see friends. I don't get to go to I don't get to do anything.
Yeah.
But this is something I enjoy probably more than anything else I've ever done. And it's at home. I can do it whenever I want.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you do need to do something for yourself. And, that's what I kind of told myself as well. I was like, okay, well, I've got all this responsibility now. They're living with me full time. I've got to do everything that I wouldn't have had to have done a few months previously. And you have to make a bit of time for yourself. Yeah. And that's what I did. I focused it back on my music. Because before that I was going down a downward spiral with just drinking all the time and going out, because they weren't with me all the time. So it was only like every Saturday or every other Saturday I'd see them. And don't get me wrong, when I saw them, it was all about them. I wasn't drinking or anything like that. But for the rest of the time, I would just be out. Yeah. Just literally out every night. Because I had nothing else to do. So yeah, and I couldn't do that anymore, and I didn't want to do that anymore. So that kind of like sorted that side of it out, and I just focused on music. Yeah. So yeah, just really got back into it.
Oh, glad I think
that's when I kind of thought, yeah, do you know what? I should start promoting myself a bit. So I did a little bit, and I got a few little gigs locally, and I loved it. Yeah, I loved it, and obviously I met Rachel and stuff, and then the confidence grew. And every time I played somewhere and, you know, see everyone dancing. And,
it's the best feeling, isn't it?
It is the best feeling. And do you know what? Whenever I'm DJing as well, I know you don't drink, so this doesn't relate to you, but I get more drunk DJing than the rest of the night.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, everyone comes and buys me drinks.
People try. Do you know, that's something I have noticed. Obviously, I've only been DJing for 10 months and I've been sober for nearly 6 years. So I've actually never mixed whilst under the influence, not even by a sip. But I'd have noticed when so many people, and it's usually like friends of mine's partners that will come up and like get them a drink and they'll be like, what are you having? Or if they're like, what time are you playing? Oh, 10 to 11. Let me get you a drink. I'm like, I don't drink. You can buy me a Coke.
I get it all the time, honestly. Like the last event we done, I think I got bought like four or five drinks in the hour that I was DJing. And every time I walk off decks, I'm wobbling. And then I don't drink for the rest
Have
of
you
the
ever
night.
gone on and mixed sober?
Yeah, when I start.
Yeah.
But I mean,
have you not had an alcoholic drink at all before you go up?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. If you ever gone and played, because obviously we all follow some like really, really big name DJs on social media. And I've noticed recently quite a lot of them have put posts up that have stopped drinking, but they've said in their posts that prior to that, they've actually never, ever gone and played a set. And these are DJs that are playing in like super clubs in Ibiza and places like that, saying that that before that, they'd never, ever in their life gone and played a set without having a drink and that they weren't sure if they could do it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. For me, DJing I've always looked at it as kind of a bit of a night out. So I'm not one of these people. I won't just turn up, do my set and go home. I'll sort of go early and I'll probably stay the night. So probably, I wouldn't get drunk, but I probably would have a couple of drinks before. I think I used to help myself with my nerves as well.
With your confidence.
Yeah, confidence and stuff. But yeah, I mean, now, I might be playing first and I might set up the event, turn up, and then I haven't had a drink, but then people keep buying them while I'm mixing. Yeah. I end up walking off tipsy.
And when I get my offers in future, I'm going to tell them to go and buy you one.
I'll be legless time I get one. I won't be able to do it. But yeah, no, it's mad.
Oh. Right, let's talk about our Purple Disco first birthday. Yay. That's something I really want to talk about, something that's really, really exciting, something that we've put a lot of work and effort into. So what was supposed to be a one-off event is now coming up to our first birthday celebration. And I think by that time, will it be event number 7?
What are we on now? 4, 5. No,
so it'll be number 6.
It'll be number 6, yeah.
Getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, it'll be number 6.
I've made up another event.
Well, because we've got one April, haven't we?
Yep.
April
Easter,
20th,
Easter Sunday.
At the same venue as the birthday, I think, but it's not like a massive one. It's more of just a show our faces there and put on it's a free event, so we're not selling tickets or anything. So yeah, it's not so much charity, that one. But yeah, then I think we're having a little bit of a break longer than we normally would, so that we can
between April and June.
Yeah,
yeah, because it's a big one in June.
Yeah, it's a big one in June. So we got 18 DJs.
Yep.
2 not arenas, but we got like an outside area and then the inside area.
Yeah, with different genres of music.
Yeah, so they're going to be running side by side. So it's going to be good.
It is.
It's going to be good.
And it's 12 till 12.
12 till 12.
12 till 12. Yeah, 12 till 12.
12 hours of music.
Yeah, and even though I do DJ and that now, you're still really predominantly in charge of sorting the DJs out. So what different genres of house can people be expecting in June?
So we've got loads. So we've got people that are playing like disco type of house, funky house. We've got the minimal tech, deep house, tech house, house.
Purple house.
Purple house, yeah, that's our new genre. Purple
our new
house.
genre that we've made up.
Watch
Purple
out
house.
for that, people. Purple house.
Any track. It's just decent house music that we like.
Yeah,
there's Purple house.
Hard house.
Yep.
Hard
I'm
house.
very excited for that set.
I think maybe a bit of hard
I am a hard
trance.
house girl at heart.
A bit of trance maybe. So yeah, everything. A little bit garage.
A little bit of garage, a little bit of EDM.
Yeah, oh God.
But I know you're really looking forward to that.
Yeah, there's going to be a good mixture of, and I think it'd be new stuff, old stuff, everything in between.
And it's open to families with children during the day?
Up until a certain point, yeah. We have to confirm.
Is it up until 6 or 7?
I can't remember what he said.
I think it might be 6.
We've got to confirm with him. But yeah, it's a family pub, so it is going to be open. You can get food there.
Yeah. Table service as well,
table
food and
service.
drinks.
You can just order it off,
even the
straight off your
outside
app.
area.
Yeah, so you
Don't even have to leave your table.
No, that's it. So yeah, it's going to be good. We're going to have a big sound system outside and inside. Yeah, it's going to go off. Hopefully, it's. To be fair, I think considering it's us, just our little purple disco.
I know.
It's
Who'd
going
have
to be
thought?
a pretty big event.
It is, and the money that it's £5 a ticket.
£5 ticket, yeah.
Nice and cheap. The money that's raised from the ticket sales will be going to Macmillan.
Yeah. So.
And again, I know that's a charity that is close to
a lot of people's hearts.
There's probably not a single person I know that's not been affected. And by affected, not necessarily themselves, either a family member, an extended family member, a friend.
Yeah.
I don't think I actually have a single person in my life who's not been affected by that.
Nice.
So
they
this,
say it's like it's 50-50 chance now, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is a charity that's close to a lot of people.
Either me or you is going to get it.
Oh God, don't say that.
But that's how they look at it now, isn't it?
Maybe it could be out of 4 and it could be the other 2.
Yeah, we just keep donating. But yeah, no, it's a good charity.
Yeah, amazing charity.
So yeah, it's hopefully everyone can turn up. Hopefully the weather will be on our side.
Yep, I'm sure it will.
Well,
I'll be manifesting it. I'm manifesting good weather for lots of events this year.
Yeah, we have got a big gazebo, which Rob from Resonate again is supplying, along with sound system and stuff. So it'll be good.
Perfect. And that's 28th of June, isn't it?
28th of June.
28th.
At the Broughton,
28th of June at the Broughton, Milton Keynes. Tickets £5 and they're on Skiddle. What I'll do is I'll leave the link for the event in the show notes underneath this podcast. So if you haven't bought a ticket yet, go on and buy one.
Let me just tell you all the DJs as well.
Oh, yes.
I have to have a look. There's so many.
Do a shout out to all the DJs that are playing in June, because everyone's donated their time, their efforts.
To fly now.
And I think the most important thing that anybody can ever give to you is their time. It really is.
Exactly, yeah. So obviously me and you. And then our residents, which is Blaine B and Ant Harris. And then we've got Ian, who does our sound and lighting, but he's actually also a really good producer and DJ. So he's going to be gracing the decks. We've got DJ Mays. We've got Ben Wilson and Harry Parsons from Funky Grooves. Resonate, who obviously supplies sound and stuff as well. He's also a DJ, so he'll be playing. We've got Gen 33 or Gen 33, who he's played for us a couple of times as well. We got Jules Vick, who's a really nice lady. You've probably seen her on Instagram. She's always jumping around behind the decks. We've got City Beats, who I don't know him, but I think that's a friend of Ant's, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
And then we've got DJ XJ and D-Vox that are coming up from down Bournemouth way, I think they are, who, they're quite been in the game quite a long time. Plays a really cool hard house. And isn't she a vocalist who
sings
is a vocalist,
her?
So expect she'll start singing over her set, which is going to be really cool. Then we've obviously got Owen B, who's now one of our favourites.
Yep. He is a Purple Disco fan favourite.
Yeah. And we've got Ashley Kellett from Arch Vegas, who everyone will know. Furious Styles and Andre Fuller from New Dance Grooves.
Amazing.
Who's making moves as well. Just see he's going to Ibiza.
He is.
Taking blame
amazing.
With him. Yeah. So then obviously we've got Benj the Funky Giant,
yep,
our percussion,
and our amazing, wonderful dancers.
And our dancers from Life is for Living.
Yeah, what a lineup.
So yeah, it should be good. It's quite big, isn't it, for Milton Keynes?
Really big for us.
For us, I mean, 2
just normal people.
I think when you see events, you don't see that many DJs.
No.
Unless it's like something huge.
Yeah.
So I think considering we're not like this huge name, it's a massive lineup.
Yet.
Not yet, but it's a massive lineup.
It is. It's huge, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. But yes, like I said, I'll leave the Skiddle ticket link in the show notes. I'll also link the pages to Purple Disco on Facebook and Instagram. And I will also leave links to Ben's personal Facebook and Instagram pages as well. So thank you so much for coming on and speaking.
We done?
Yes, we
I was just getting into it.
Wasn't that scary, was it?
No, it's happening.
Thank you for coming on and speaking with me today.
Yeah, no worries. Someone's got to do it, ain't they?
I know.
So.
And I will speak to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Cheers.
Cheers.